Have you ever asked yourself, how am I going to survive this negative work environment? I've asked that myself a number of times over the last 30 years as a prison doctor. So I'm going to share a couple of things that I learned. One of the things that made sense to me was there's certain things I can control. I can always control my mind, my body, and my spirit. When I approach a problem, I look at it with, what can I learn from this negative experience? There's a lot of power in that, and it also makes it worthwhile if you live through it. That's certainly a big one. The other thing with the mind is if you have the ability to see humor in things, which, let me tell you, you need in medicine. In fact, when people are dying, and my inmate population would ask me things like, oh, Dr. Gedney, how do medical people deal with all this death and dying and suffering? I said, well, you know, they sort of develop a gallows sense of humor. Now, of course, I'm thinking about the gallows where people hang. Well, he goes, really? Gallows? You mean like you have to drink a lot of wine? And I thought, okay, that's not what exactly I meant. But humor. There's always opportunities for humor if you look for things. Another thing is the body. A lot of people, I think, tend to forget about this. You can control your body. And that means in a negative environment, even the way you stand. If you're going to work and you're slouched, negative. You've got to be erect. You've got to be up. You've got to move with spirit, energy. And I find the best way is you have to be committed to exercise. A lot of people will give lip service, but they don't do it. One of the ways I really survived was that every morning, even before I went to work, I got up early. I worked out a good hour, hour and a half before I actually entered the prison. And then I was up. Plus my endorphins were up. I felt energetic. And it takes a lot less, let's say it takes a lot more to knock you down if you're up. But if you're down and just moping around, small things really affect you. Another thing that people tend to forget is what they eat. I notice when people are depressed, you see all of this thing of candy, cookies, snacks laying around everything. Worst thing positive in a negative work environment. Why? Because when you're down, a lot of people have a great compulsion to put something in their mouth to satisfy themselves, sort of like a pacifier. And when it's just laying around, it tends to go in, weight starts to expand, and they get sluggish. Plus, not to mention sugar levels. They go up, then they drop down. And when they drop down, you feel sedated, you feel tired, you feel irritable. Worst thing, a negative environment. So definitely, you see how you can actually truly affect your body just with exercise and food. Gives you the protection in a negative environment. The other thing that's very important is we're very social animals. We need to connect with someone in the environment who either is an up person or someone that we can help get up and that we resonate with. Extremely important to always look at those positive people. Now, those things may seem simple, but if you could consistently do them, they would make an impact on how you deal and survive a negative work environment. And I must say, I am glad that I made that effort. Wasn't always good at it, but I made that effort, and that certainly helped me out. So I hope a couple of those nuggets help you out. It's what you intend to do every day. When you go in with intention and you set that this day is going to be a day where I'm going to learn something, I'm going to positively affect people, I'm going to look for the humor, I'm going to look for what I learn, and you do that and you survive good. If you're in an environment where you feel it's absolutely impossible, then get out. Figure out your exit strategy. So I hope that helps you out, and good luck.